We started bottling our own milk 17 years ago, and we wanted to sell an all-natural product. We learned pretty quick we couldn't do what we wanted to do, especially with our modified fat milks, because the FDA said we'd have to put vitamin A and D in that milk to make it actually milk, that we could call it milk. So we had some discussions with them early on, and we couldn't get anywhere with them. I mean, they couldn't even answer a question what we could use for the ingredient for this product, even though they said we could sell it. We just couldn't call it anything that resembled milk, and they couldn't tell us what the main ingredient was in it. And you know, it's the law that you have to have your ingredients on your label. So we just kind of gave up on it and went ahead and put the vitamin A and D in it, and been in business for 17 years until another case came up in Florida where somebody went against the state of Florida and won using Institute for Justice, and Institute for Justice then contacted me when I told them I was had the same problem, and wanted me to go with them against the federal government, because we do sell our milk across state lines and we could go after the FDA then. So we filed suit in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to be able to label our skim milk as skim milk without anything in it, because that's actually what it is. Today actually was a deadline for USDA or FDA to notify us on what they were going to do. They did contact us about 2 weeks ago asking about the size of our caps, so I don't know what they had in mind with that. But we think they want to make some kind of deal, but we don't want just a deal for me. We want a deal for everybody that wants to do what we do, and you can sell a natural product without modifying it. Our legal team is Institute for Justice. They're a bunch of young lawyers that care about this country and what's going on here, and they fight for your constitutional rights. So anything that goes against your constitutional rights, they'll take your case if they can afford it. They work on donations, and are sort of limited to what they could do unless they get more donations, and then they could do more, which they really need to do, because they fight to win. They don't fight to compromise. They don't make compromises. They win or they lose. They do not stop in the middle. And they did another case for me 5 years ago when the government came in and took my money that I was depositing in the bank. And I think I was the first one that ever got all their money back after the government had taken it. It's because they're so consistent on what they do. And then I think the government's a little bit afraid of them, because they have nothing to lose to fight this. It's not going to, like, if I go hire a lawyer, it costs me $100,000 to try to get something done, and then not get anything done. So they're a good outfit. I mean, I'm really impressed with them. I met more than one of their lawyers. They're all got the same attitude, and they want to get these things taken care of. I don't see how we can lose. I mean, it's only common sense. It's skim milk. I mean, it's nothing else. So what do you call it? And if people want to take vitamin A and D, they can go take a pill. It shouldn't be up to the dairy industry to put that, vitamin in that milk. I understand years ago when school lunch programs, you had to drink milk. They didn't offer anything else unless you wanted to drink water out of the fountain, and they were concerned about kids getting their vitamin A and D. I can see back then when it might have been an advantage, even though then they never offered you skim milk. You got whole milk, and it already was vitamin A and D, but they were still adding more. And some people today, and they ask them, we got vitamin A and D milk. I mean, the consumers are still, they don't know exactly what's going on, because it's there, so why would you want to put any more in it anyway? So it's something that I think people should be interested in, whether we win or lose or not, because then they can choose what they want. They can go to the store and they can buy milk that says all natural skim milk, or they can buy milk that says vitamin A and D added.